What's up, y'all? About to read the French book. Ready? Ready? What? Ready to read this book? Sure. So I got it. When Jared goes to the basketball court, around the corner from his man cave apartment, he usually meets some friends, old and new. He'll play a few pickup games to get some exercise and relieve whatever stress he has there. Jared's no athlete, but he's in pretty good shape. Imagine a skinny guy, average height, with some athletic features, but the only thing missing is a muscle mass. That's George. So he's the kind of guy that takes a walk around and plays a quick game of basketball every day, just because health experts recommend it. He loves the game of basketball, but really hates competition. He enjoys the chemistry and physics involved in class sports. Even when there's no testosterone boosted opponents, he practices on getting the perfect archery jump shot and different dribbling techniques. I'll be straightforward with you. Here's in the way. I'm not the kind of guy that gets fat sitting behind a computer. It seems a lot of smart people like lawyers and programmers bypass physical activity altogether. Well, not Jerry. He knows being lazy or come back that lunch. Whenever Jerry runs into his old pal Jeremy at the point, the toxic competitive energy and trash talk is unavoidable. Jeremy gives everyone not on the team a hard time. He's waving his finger in your face after he blocks you. Defense like he's got the points on him. And he'll even flagrant foul you before giving up an easy blow off. Whenever he gets too rough, he apologizes by saying, ain't no easy baskets out here. That's a real heartfelt apology, right? Jeremy's a professional. He's a college basketball star expected to be one of the top two picks next year in the NBA draft. That's why he takes every number for sure. Even when playing against scrubs, if he calls here, he lives up to the hype of being the best player in the game still. He's a 6'9" phenom that's been scouted since elementary school. There was his first practice buddy that he tried new breeds at when I was a kid. Even when playing against scrubs, which he has, uh, I just said that. Now they both attend the university of Florida. Over the years, they've grown apart and rarely see each other outside. Garrett's in a game development program at school, while Candy focuses on ball. As soon as he stepped on the court, Garrett saw Jeremy finishing a classic alley-oop dunk. After dunking the ball, Jeremy went out. So did the teenager in the crowd. Yeah. Ah! You're too little. One team from the crowd stepped on the court to show Dennis laugh. Then the game continued. Garrett called much game as he watched from the sideline, dribbling his ball. It got to 11 points and ended quickly. Jeremy's team had been dominating the court all day. Now with Jerry's turn, he began selecting the players he likes to play with instead of the best players available. Jeremy felt offended by his opponents. He reacted saying, really? This who you running with? He turned to his teammates. Y'all better not let these scrubs score one basket. Don't let these scrubs score one basket, he said. That's what he told them. Jeremy single-handedly scored the first 7 points of the game. He's most known for defense, but he could easily score against the team Jared selected. He gave them a taste of everything in his offensive skill set. He faded away on a jump shot. He gave them a little sky hook in the paint. And he even banked in a three-pointer while yelling, Kobe. It was easy for him. Jared didn't care about losing to Jeremy. He was just happy to be burning off the calories from the pancakes he ate that morning. When Jeremy finished a spin move to get away from a defender by dunking right in Jared's face, it didn't emotionally hurt him. He didn't care that everybody on the court was clowning him. He felt no sympathy for himself. Of course, a video of the dunk was posted on TikTok. He knew he would be on the embarrassing end of a viral clip, but that's not something that affected his pride. Jared actually had no specific feeling about the dunk until he noticed his friend Kenya watching on the side. Kenya has been Jared's friend since elementary. She's a pretty tall girl with a heart of gold matching her shiny brown skin, which complemented her long black natural hair. She's always nice to everyone. Even Jared. When other girls would make fun of Jared for how he dressed and acted, Kenya would speak up for him. She would sit with him and eat lunch with him sometimes back in middle school. She realized that he was a better lab partner than the fewer kids that always got in trouble in high school. Other kids thought Jared was real because he rarely spoke. Whenever he did say something, it was a detailed explanation, breaking down whatever the topic was to a science. Kenya thought that was cool about him. When Jared saw Kenya watching on the sideline, he was filled with a deep desire to give his best effort. While at the top of the key, Jared called for the ball, something he never does. He usually focuses on setting up other teammates for a bucket and staying out the way. When he got the ball, he drove straight toward the wide open rim. No one even guarded Jared on this possession because most of the time when he gets the ball, he passes it off quickly like a hot potato. The lane was clear for an easy layup. With no one else in sight, his hope grew to an ultimate height. He jumped with an eager thought of finishing the layup with a finger roll. Just as he left the ground, Jeremy, who was out near the 3 point line, took two giant steps and met him at the rim. In an attempt to block the layup, Jeremy slapped Jared in the face and forced him into the steel pole holding up the basket. The pole rang so loud from the impact, Kenya assumed Jared's head had exploded. The sound resembled a striking clock chime at the top of the hour. It echoed for 5 to 10 seconds after Jared's face smashed into it. Kenya immediately ran over to see that he was okay. She shoved Jeremy, who was hovering over Jared in disbelief, out of the way. Everybody else crowded around and watched Rory. Everybody else crowded around and watched Rory. Kenya was the only person alert enough to actually try and help. She grabbed his head and put his hand away from the large cut over his eye. His face was completely bloody. So much blood was gushing out, it made it hard to tell where it was coming from. Let me see how this sounded. I got to see how this sounded, y'all. I should have dropped a link. I'm gonna drop a link to the book real quick, y'all. Where I stop at. Page 4. About to post a link to the book. Y'all gotta post my link. Walmart got it on sale right now. Walmart. Let me see. Yep, I'm about to post y'all. good little link. Yeah, here we go. Post my link up. Then I'm gonna continue going on with my reading. I got to do a sound check real quick. Sound check 1 2 1 2. I should have ended the sound check because I know my microphone facing down. Trump. So I'm gonna see. I wanna see what it sounded like real quick, y'all. I'm gonna see. No, it sounded good. Let's see what it sounded like. Just as he left the ground, Jeremy, who was out near the 3 point. Oh yeah, it sounded perfect, clear. Now I gotta pick up where I was just reading. All right, all right. So Jared just ran into the pole and they picked him up off the ground. Now they about to take him to the hospital. That's where I got out. Jared versus Jeremy on a basketball court. That's basically all we got at right now. Now we moving on. After the pole incident, Jared ran into a pole, a steel pole. Everybody else crowded around and watched worried. Kenya was the only person alert enough to actually try and help. She grabbed his head and put his hand away from a large cut over his eye. His face was completely bloody. So much blood was gushing out, it made it hard to tell where it was coming from. Kenya stood up and shoved Jeremy again. Why are y'all just standing here? He needs to go to the hospital. Pick him up. Let's get him to the emergency room. Jeremy snapped out of shot and picked Jared up. He carried him to his car and helped him lay out in the back seat. Jeremy put a towel from his gym bag to catch the blood dripping from a deep cut above Jared's eye. During the ride to the hospital, Jeremy asked questions like, "Are you okay, bro? I swear I didn't mean to do that. You sure you good?" He kept making sure Jared was okay. He continuously looked back at him through the rear view mirror to make sure he was still conscious. Kenya rode in the passenger seat and kept looking back at Jared too. It's fair to say Kenya's concern was a little more sincere. Jeremy was very apologetic, seemed to be worried about Jared, but really his image was the number one priority. He didn't want anyone posting this and making it go viral. He was planning takedown requests in his mind. He tried to think of a media-friendly explanation of what all went down. He imagined paparazzi waiting for him at the hospital, ready to drill him and tarnish his reputation. He decided in his mind that if his favorite team, the Miami Heat, didn't want to draft him anymore because of this incident, that it would be okay to go to a team like the Pistons or the Pelicans. Dude was thinking the worst. Jared was able to walk in with some assistance when they arrived at the hospital. Luckily for Jeremy, there was no paparazzi. Jared could barely see from all the blood, but he was aware of what was going on. When the medics were ready for him, he thanked Jeremy for the ride and accepted his apology for the 100th time. He told Jeremy, "Don't worry about it, bro. I'll be fine. It's a grade 2 concussion at work." I lost consciousness for a few seconds back there. He waved goodbye to Kenya as he was rolled through the emergency room doors in a wheelchair. Kenya was left standing there with Jeremy. He asked him, "Do you think he's going to be okay?" Jeremy shrugged his shoulders. The lack of sentiment in his reply frustrated him. She went on, "Really? You couldn't give a I hope so, a prayer, or any sign that you actually care?" He really hurt her. He made her even more upset with his next reply. "I told him so. I didn't even do that. That's showing off for the sign." See, Jeremy and Kelly have been friends just as long as Jared and her. Jeremy was actually her first crush. They met on the playground, of course. Jeremy taught her how to swing on the monkey bars. She was scared at first, but Jeremy was right there to catch her. He coached her through the process, and they've been friends ever since. It took Kenya a while to catch on to Jeremy's arrogant ways. He'd always been nice to her, but when playing with other kids like Jared, he was an asshole. Even as a little girl, Kenya had the confidence to stand up to Jeremy and tell him about himself. That's what made her special. Jeremy respected that about her, and it made him like her even more. Unfiltered, Kenya nagged Jeremy about his attitude while he drove her home from the hospital. She wouldn't let him forget. When Jeremy asked her to chill and stop shaming and blaming him, her response was, "Or what? You gonna slam me into a pole like you did, Jared?" Jeremy thought that was funny. He told her, "Nah, I'll just kick you out the car and make you walk home." Ken didn't entertain the joke. Still dizzy from the pole running, Jared was examined by a doctor. The doctor asked him things to test his memory, like his address and his mom's name. Jared answered the questions accurately, but complained that his head was spinning. Then the doctor gave him a pill, and that's when everything got weird. Doctor gave him a pill, everything got weird. He dropped the link to the book below. Just a few minutes later, Jared dozed off. The bed he lay on had wheels. Doctor rolled him down the hall to a dark room. Jared occasionally regained consciousness. I was remembered. Oh, I think I would have got you. Jared occasionally regained consciousness that he was remembered. It was weird being in the dark room. It was also comforting. It helped relieve the eye strain and headache. So he submitted to the darkness, fell into a dark sleep. The doctor went back to his office after moving Jared to the dark room. He opened the door and found a chocolate skinned woman around 30 years old sitting on the couch. It was Gina. The doctor closed the door and took a seat at his desk. Gina got straight to the point. "This is our only chance. Do you think this is a good thing?" The doctor replied, "And the only way to find out. He's fully sedated. There's a 1% chance they'll go down." Gina said, "Let's do it." The doctor began operating on Jared and dark. That's when the doctor began operating that door in the dark room. Still in that dark emergency room, and the doctor is starting to work on a hidden camera in the form of a constant. The surgically installed in his eye. The swelling above his eye made it difficult to insert the eye camera. His highly active immune system triggered an inflammatory response that can cause tissue and organ destruction if not handled properly. The risky procedure takes several hours. Nothing for good, it was successful. If anything had went wrong, he could have lost his sight. Complications after the eye contact surgery are likely to occur if Jared runs into another player, has any type of energy or infection there. He had never been prone to incidents like the happened on the basketball court. But I wasn't concerned for the doctor. I know the whole eye thing, operation seems very illegal. You probably think the doctor risked his career and livelihood doing something like that. Under usual circumstances, he'd be jailed if the government caught him inserting a hidden camera in somebody's eye without consent. For your information, the government actually allows and oversees this type of activity. For your information, the Lady Jita that put the whole icon play in motion is affiliated with the government. She's a part of the secret influencers program. 22 years ago, Gina and a team of influencers purchased the rights to protect, guide, and influence Jared's life. They're not to be confused with social media influencers. These are real life influencers. Every time he passes a test, makes a friend, or succeeds in business, his influence worth increases and the team gets paid. The program is funded by major corporations like Apple and Microsoft and controlled by the government. Jared seems like a normal nerdy college student to his parents and everyone that knows him, but in the secret influencer program, he's considered an elite. The government merged these elite babies based on the gene production form from family history and economic needs of the community they belong to. Every elite baby is important to the forward movement of society. So the government oversees that influencers nurture the elite from a distance to help them as much as possible. Mhm. Got the link below. I'm on chapter one. Two more pages in chapter one. You know what? I might be back. I might just come back later. I might come back later. Screw y'all. Unless y'all want me to keep reading. Because I'm giving y'all the sauce for free. Y'all want to hear the rest of the story? Or is it too gory? Okay, I've got a couple likes. I might just keep going. At least in a chapter or something, y'all. The chapter. You should tell something.